I never know how to start off my astrology videos, so hey, hi, welcome to Jade's video. This is the North Node video, highly anticipated, very glad you were here, so let's get right into it. I am going to teach you how to attain personal satisfaction by looking at your North Node. Jade, what the fuck is your North Node? So basically, you guys, the North Node in your chart, it's essentially just a mathematical point. It's not a real thing that's just floating around in the sky. You can't get a telescope and look at it. You can't point at it in the sky, but it's a mathematical point that's calculated with the moon's orbit and the way that the moon's orbit touches the Earth's center, blah blah blah. I'm gonna post links below so you can look at all the nice cute details for yourself. That doesn't really matter for everything I'm about to tell you, but if you want to look at all that cute crap, I'm gonna post the details in the description. But anyway, I'm here to teach you about a way to being personally satisfied in your life no matter what's going on. Now notice that I said personally satisfied. We're talking personal satisfaction. I didn't use a gimmick word like ultimate happiness, and I didn't say anything like, you know, curing depression, but that's something I'm not qualified for. I didn't say anything crazy like that. I said personal satisfaction. Okay, so now you're saying, okay Jade, what is personal satisfaction? Okay, so in my opinion, personal satisfaction is being okay. It's being okay with being okay. It's being content with whatever circumstances or situations that you're currently going through, whether they are good, whether they're bad. So whether you're in the prime of your life, whether you're in the downfall of your life, or whatever have you, because you know that whatever efforts you're putting forward currently are going to lead you into wherever you need to go, however long it's going to take you to get there. You know that you're trying your best. Personal satisfaction. Like I said, this doesn't mean that you're going to be 100% happy all the time. This doesn't mean that you have a lot of money. This doesn't mean that you have the ultimate romance in your life or anything like that. It just means that you're okay. You know, you're good. This doesn't mean that you're never going to be depressed or that you're never going to have bad things happen to you or anything. But no matter what, you know that you're okay, and on the inside right here, you're good. That's what personal satisfaction is to me. And so the purpose of this video and the next video that I'm going to put on Patreon is for you to have that same feeling. Okay, we're gonna get there. And if you are on my Patreon, and like I said, you've already seen the link for the little history lesson on it, and then you've already covered the basics on it. We've already done that. We've already talked about that. But once again, I will put that link in the description. Okay, so moving along, guys, one thing that I want you to know about this video is that the purpose of this video, the way that I'm teaching it, you know, is that I want it to be simple, straight to the point, direct. All of the extras, because we're going to get into some stuff later that has to do, well, just a little bit, like when you're talking about the North Node, like in your research and your study, when you're Googling stuff, you're going to find stuff about reincarnation, your soul's journey, karmic imbalance, karma, blah, 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 blah. The way that I'm going to teach it to you, you know, you're not really going to have to worry about all that. Now, if you want to, you most certainly can. You are free to look it up that way. You are free to study it that way. But the way that I'm going to teach it to you, you won't even need to give a fuck about any of that. Because I swear to God, it's not going to matter, you know, in your day-to-day life when you're trying to figure this shit out to improve the quality of your life. So just keep that in mind. But I am going to provide links so that way if you want to, you can still do it that way. So moving along, even though the North Node in everybody's chart, this goes for everybody, this goes for me, this goes for you, this goes for the people below me, this goes for president, but anyway, even though the North Node is the point of satisfaction, personal satisfaction in everyone's chart, it is a very uncomfortable journey towards getting there. I don't mean that personal satisfaction is uncomfortable. I mean that getting to that point is uncomfortable. Why is that uncomfortable? Because that doesn't really make sense. Make it make sense, Jade. Help us out. Why is it uncomfortable getting there? Because the North Node is always going to be opposite from what's called the south node in your chart. What is the south node? In everyone's chart, they have a point called the south node. So in everyone's chart, the south node represents, basically, long story short, remember I told you I'm skipping all the parts about reincarnation and all the extra shit. You can read that on your own. But basically, the south node in your chart, it shows the qualities and habits that are very overdone in your life. These are things that you are just so comfortable with, the things that you are just so able to do so easily that you just do them too much. You do them to your detriment. You know, the things that you just, whenever life gets to be too much, you do these things automatically. You just recluse into these things, but then they hurt you in the long run and you don't even realize. And I'm going to give examples about all of this stuff in the end, at the end of the video. And so the purpose of this video, I'm going to teach you how, well, I'm going to teach you on the next video, on the Patreon video, how you can move into your north node so you can have personal satisfaction, but also how to keep the comforts of your south node. Because even though we all do our south node stuff, even though we all do it way too much to our detriment, it's still a part of us. It's still something that brings us comfort, and we can still have these comforts. We just have to learn how to find a balance between the two. We have to learn how to have the personal satisfaction of our north nodes, because doing the north node things is actually better for us in our life. When we follow our north node, it actually takes us to a better place in our lives, no matter what it is. And remember, being at a better point in life doesn't always mean money, fame, love. It doesn't always mean that. It means personal satisfaction. You're gonna always want to be personally satisfied over having money, love, or fame. Fame, you know, the top three. Those are the top three that everybody, almost everybody wants, you know. So that's the point. Oh, and also keep in mind that in the Patreon video, I'm going to be a lot more specific. I just wanted to keep this one short for YouTube so that way you got the point. Okay. And let me give you a celebrity example of somebody who seems to have obtained the personal satisfaction as well. Beyonce. Beyonce's north node is conjunct her MC, and Beyonce's north node is also conjunct her Mars. And let me make another point here too. Whenever you have the north node closely conjunct a planet, now somebody who has their north node closely conjunct a planet, you're always going to be acting out your planetary energy. You're not going to be able to help that. You're going to always be doing that. So when it's closely conjunct the north node, you know, if the north node is that uncomfortable point, but if you're always acting out your planetary energy, then that means the way you naturally are is going to always be influencing the way, you know, the path that you should be going down anyway. You know, the uncomfortable point that you should be doing, that north node, right? So Beyonce having her Mars conjunct the north node, every which way her body, which is Mars, every which way her body moves, you know, is in line with her north node's path. Every time she dances is in line with that north node. Every time she performs, and it's in the 10th house, every time she performs and gets on stage and, you know, does a speech is in line with that north node. So Beyonce, she's got that shit down pack, honestly. Also, now keep in mind, like I said earlier, that doesn't mean that she doesn't have bad days or that she is exempt from bad things happening in her life. That's going to happen to all of us, but it does mean that she will have a great deal of personal satisfaction, that she has a great deal of being okay. She's okay with being okay. That does happen for her often, and the same can happen for you, whether you have a planet conjunct your north node or not. Okay, so real quick, let me give you an example of my own north node and south node experience, just real quick. So my north node is in Virgo, and it's in my 11th house, right? So that means that automatically my south node, because the north node and the south node are always opposites, my south node has to be in Pisces, because Virgo and Pisces are opposites. My south node is in the 5th house, right? Because the 5th house and the 11th house are opposites. Remember that your north node is what you want to work towards. That's what you want to work towards for personal satisfaction. That's what's going to get me towards higher points in life, to be personally satisfied. Not just for fame, money, or love, but just personal satisfaction. And my south node are things that I do way too much, that are way too comfortable for me, that bring me, you know, detriment in the long run, right? Right. So What does Virgo represent? Virgo represents work. What does the 11th house represent? It represents separation. These are just some key terms that I'm throwing out there so that way you can understand. And then the 5th house represents romance. Pisces represents being lazy. So here's an example. When I was in college, I was working for this school program, and I got a boyfriend. My first year of college, I got my boyfriend. That first summer, yeah, I got a boyfriend and everything, and I was so excited. It was at the very end of the summer, and I wanted to spend the entire summer with him. So I called my job, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna quit. And I quit. And I quit so that way I could spend the entire summer laying up with my boyfriend, fucking, and doing absolutely nothing. You know, that was my Pisces South Node. Pisces energy wants to lay around and just be in la la land, be in the dream, you know, and it's the 5th house, so I just wanted to lay around and do nothing and fuck. You know, that's what I wanted to do. And then my Virgo North Node, you know, Virgo needs to work. That North Node energy, which it wants me to work. That was uncomfortable for me at the time, you know, working and doing that. And yeah, so I quit my job and everything, and that ended up backfiring on me in the long run because we ended up breaking up. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any income. And then that next year when I tried to get that same job back, they didn't hire me. So that's just an example of how that worked against me, and how that whole summer I was very much unsatisfied, personal unsatisfaction. But you know, had I kept my job, I would have had a healthy amount of space from my boyfriend, and our relationship probably would have lasted, you know, and then I would have been able to still, you know, lay up and fuck him, but I could have done that with a healthy amount of space. You know, I could have done that at the end of the day instead of all day. You know, there's a balance that needs to be achieved here. So in the video for Patreon, I'm going to teach you how to find that balance for you, and the way I'm going to do that for each sign that the North Node is in, I'm going to give you one simple sentence. I know that sounds very infomercial gimmicky, but I'm going to give you a very simple phrase or sentence that's going to help you improve the quality of life for your North Node. Okay, that's what I'm going to do for Patreon. I'm going to go more into detail about the North Node and about the South Node. We're probably going to do a live about it one day. We're going to answer questions, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys there, and I really hope this video helped you get a lot more info about it. Thank you for watching.